Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lena Francis, and if you are learning Selenium, this is one video you don't want to skip. In our last video, we walked through how to set up Selenium WebDriver and run your very first test in Java. If you missed that, check it out first. Link in the description. Also, don't forget to check out our podcast where we talk about real-world testing automation careers and total breakdowns. Perfect for coders on the go. Now in today's video, we are diving deep into locators, the building blocks of Selenium automation. We are not just going to list them, we are going to break down what they are, when to use them, common mistakes to avoid, and run through code examples together. Let's get started. So locators are how Selenium identifies elements on a web page. Think of them like an address. If Selenium doesn't have the exact address, it can't click a button or fill a text box. So a basic HTML page form with labels over input, buttons and links. Now there are 8 main types of locators in Selenium, and we'll go through each of them with working code examples using a demo page from Selenium's official site. We are using the sample Java program to demonstrate everything. Let's break it down one locator at a time. By ID. So using the ID is the most reliable and faster way to find an element because IDs are supposed to be unique on a large page. Here we locate a text input with ID, my text ID, and type hello Selenium into it. Common mistakes. If multiple elements somehow share the same ID, which they shouldn't, Selenium may grab the first one it sees. By name. Now sometimes form uses the name attribute instead of an ID. It's still reliable, especially in login forms or signups. Here we locate the password field using name equal to my password. Make sure the name value is unique to avoid accidentally targeting the wrong inputs. By class name. Now class name is useful when elements don't have an ID or name. But be careful. Classes can be reused across elements. In this example, we are targeting a text area with the class form control. Here's a tip. Only use this if the class is unique or you are okay selecting the first match. By tag name. Now tag name is great for grabbing multiple elements like all input tags or button tags. Here we are printing the total number of input fields on a page. This is perfect for loops, form validations or checking how many buttons exist. Next, by link text. Now link text helps you find anchor elements, also known as links, using their exact text. In this case, we select a link that says written to index. Now next we have by partial link text. If you only know part of the link text, use partial link text. It's useful when link text is dynamic or long. Here's a warning, don't use this when there are many links with similar words. It might pick the wrong one. By CSS selector. Now CSS selectors are powerful and flexible. You can combine tags, classes, IDs and attributes, just like in CSS files. Here's an example, select.form. Select means select tag with class form select. Here's a pro tip. Use this when ID or name isn't available and you want precision. Next you have by XPath. Now XPath is most powerful and flexible locator. It lets you navigate through the DOM and matches elements based on any condition. Here we locate a checkbox using its type attribute. Now you might be having a question, what is DOM? Now DOM is the structure of your HTML page. Here's what to take care of. XPath can get messy. Avoid overly complex paths and prefer relative XPath over absolute. Next, finding multiple elements. Can return a list of all matching elements. Here we collect all the button tags and print the text. Great for debugging or form validations. Here's a quick summary table on the screen. ID for unique elements. Name, form inputs. Class name used for CSS styled elements. Tag name for grabbing multiple similar tags. Link text, exact link matches. Partial link text, when partial matches in links. CSS selector, complex and powerful queries. XPath, precise or dynamic elements. Alright, before we get our hands dirty, make sure you have got Selenium and WebDriver Manager ready in your project. If you are new here, WebDriver Manager saves you from the headache of downloading drivers manually. Lifesaver, right? Now the very first step is project setup and dependencies. So first we set up a Selenium project. Make sure you have these dependencies installed. Selenium WebDriver and WebDriver Manager for automatic driver setup. This lets us avoid manual driver downloads. The next step we have is import statements and WebDriver setup. So now here we import the necessary classes from Selenium and WebDriver Manager. So WebDriver Manager handles Chrome driver setup automatically, saving time and headaches. Next we have is main method and WebDriver initialization. So we use WebDriver Manager to set up Chrome driver. Then we launch Chrome maximize the window, and set an implicit wait to handle elements loading delays. Finally, we open the demo web form page. Now here, you are already familiar with the setup of Chrome driver. The only new part that you see is implicit waits. Now wait is a totally different concept in Selenium WebDriver, which we'll see in coming videos in detail. So for now, let's just focus on locators. So here we just set up our Chrome driver, we launch our Chrome, we maximize the window, and we set some implicit wait so that whenever we try to open up our browser, all the elements are loaded first on the page and then we start our testing. Next, locate elements by ID. Now here we locate the input box using its unique ID, my text ID. So IDs are the fastest and most reliable locators since they should be unique on the page. We then type hello Selenium into the box. So here we are trying to locate the element by inspecting it, finding the ID, and then we add it to our code. Next, locate element by name. So here we find the password field by its name attribute, which is common in login forms. So we type a sample password into it. So again, we follow the same steps. We go right click on the element, inspect it, search by name attribute, and then we pick that password field from there and paste it in our code. So similarly, we have element located by its class name. So here we locate text area using its CSS class form control. So note that class names can be shared among multiple elements, so we have to be careful. Again, we have to right click, inspect the element, pick up our class name and paste it in the code. Then we have locate multiple elements by tag name. So again, we already have seen that tag names, we find all input fields on a page and print them, how many are there, right? So this is useful for bulk operations or validations. So again, for this, I am trying to locate all the input tags which I have used in my code, and I'm going to print the number of input tags that I see. That I have locate element by link text. Now here we find a link by its exact visible text. So return to index is our text, and I'm trying to find this link text which is useful for clicking links and verifying the link text. So very similar, we just go right click and inspect the element, fetch the text and put it in our code, so that when I'm going to execute this code, it will try to search or locate the link with that exact visible text on the link. Then I have locate element by partial link text. So we already know partial link text, we use partial text that is there. So here, in order to find my link, I'll just write or use the word written. So here I similarly try to perform all the steps. I right click, I inspect the element, and the partial link text that I'm using here is written. Next, I have locate element by CSS selector. So we already know CSS selectors lets us target elements using tags, class, ID, and attributes. So just like in CSS style sheets, we click the drop down here, and by inspecting the elements, I'll just pick up my CSS selector and add it to my code. Next is selecting element or locating element by its XPath. So XPaths are very powerful and flexible. We locate the checkbox input using an attribute filter. Here we try to just go on a page, right click, and I say inspect, and after that I just go on the text, I right click on that and I select copy, and I get the option copy XPath. So I pick up my XPath from there and I paste it in my code. And there you have it, a full breakdown of every Selenium locator with real Java examples. If you're serious about test automation, understand these locators is your first big win. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos on handling weights, test framework and dynamic elements. Thank you for watching, and remember, the best way to learn testing is to test. See you in the next video.